It's called the LFA. The LFA.
Lexus LFA. It was
Lexus LFA. ...552 horsepower.
0 to 60, 3.7 seconds. Top speed, 202 miles an hour.
I wanted to make a new sports car, one that could stand against the long-established European so-called supercars, Porsche, Ferrari and Lamborghini, to show that we Japanese could make something like that. In the beginning, we planned to make the body from aluminium. Developing a supercar, a super sports car, carbon fiber was a material I really wanted to try using, if at all possible.
Carbon is crucial to the car's performance. It's a material 5 times the strength of steel, yet a quarter lighter. It's the construction material of choice for both Formula One racing cars and the aerospace industry. First, simple strands of carbon fiber are woven into a pliable cloth using an automated weaving machine. This fabric is then transformed through heat, pressure, polycarbonate resin and labor-intensive techniques into the car's core known as the tub. The tub is pieced together like a 3D jigsaw. It's then fitted into a template, along with 7 other floor parts, and inserted into a 1,000-ton press. A glue-like resin is pumped into the template. Baking overnight at 150 degrees Celsius sets the resin, resulting in a side panel that's both ultra-strong and ultra-light. An aluminium equivalent would be twice as heavy. Weight saving is the holy grail for all auto engineers. Back at the factory, in a locked room, a bespoke machine creates 2 crucial parts to complete the tub's construction. The roof rails support the windscreen, as well as protecting the driver if the car rolls over. This custom-built circular loom weaves the carbon rail in 3D. It uses lasers to control the feed of carbon fiber strands onto 144 bobbins. These knit the carbon around a top-secret automated template that's fed through the center of the loom. This is done twice over to cross-thatch the carbon weave, so giving the rail its strength. The side rail is heated and impregnated with more resin to complete its metamorphosis from a flexible tube to a rock-hard rail.
You may think that this is quite heavy, but it is only 2 kilograms.
The tub is bonded in another top-secret jig. First, a super-strong adhesive, known as epoxy resin, is applied by robot and hand to each of the parts. The separate parts are transferred to the jig and locked in place. Pop rivets keep the pieces aligned. To cure the epoxy, the jig is pushed into an oven and then baked for 60 minutes at 60 degrees Celsius. The resulting tub is so strong, it acts as both the structural core of the car and as a crush-resistant safety cell should the car crash. Front space is at a premium, so coolant is pumped from the hot engine to twin radiators mounted behind the car's rear wheels. Matsumoto had to shape the car to funnel cold air to these vital components.
These mirrors are specially shaped so they funnel air into these air intakes.
This shape is not just for styling. The intake is deliberately formed here, from the base of the glass.
The result is an airflow system capable of cooling the engine, even under the most extreme race conditions.
I wanted to build the car around the people in it. And for a supercar that puts people first, the optimum place for the engine is front mid.
This front mid location puts the engine between the driver and the car's front wheels. With the transmission placed at the rear, the driver is in the center and the car feels balanced to drive. The aim is to make the car's handling as good as possible. But a front mid configuration dramatically restricts the space available for the engine.
4.8-litre V10, and yet somehow the Lexus boffins have managed to make it only the size of a V8 and as light as a V6.
It's cast in a 3D resin-impregnated sand mold, made from 37 individual blocks that take a week to fashion. With the blocks fitted together, the mold is ready to be filled. The liquid metal flows into the mold as a vacuum sucks out any contaminating gases. In these million-dollar automated machining tools, the rough engine casts are milled, drilled and polished before emerging as precisely spec'd engine blocks. Then the robots hand over to humans. In a sealed room, Takumi hone every sharp edge using precision polishing tools. Finally, a highly skilled Takumi pre-assembles the finished engine blocks to check they fit precisely. These blocks and screws are paired for life. The engine room here takes obsession to new heights. As you'd expect, hairnets and airlocks prevent any particle contamination. But the room is also kept at a constant temperature and humidity to ensure that every engine part is at the same state of thermal expansion during assembly. This is more laboratory than workshop. The 2,200 engine parts are divided into 61 different kits for assembly by number. 4 highly trained Takumi work here. Each is responsible for a single engine from start to finish. The resulting 4.8-litre engine is so responsive that it takes just half a second to reach 9,000 RPM.
The most amazing thing is the way it revs.
The engine is so lively they've had to fit this computer game-style virtual rev counter. Because a normal analog rev counter can't keep pace with how quickly this thing gains and loses revs.
That means instant acceleration, whatever gear you're in.
The sound of the LFA is unique, and once heard, never forgotten.
To refine the driver's soundtrack, Heiji Maruyama, general manager of Yamaha Motors, had to redesign the component that sits on top of the engine, called the surge tank. Maruyama tunes the chamber by varying the thickness of the surge tank's upper surface and adding internal vibrating ribs.
The construction is very like that of an acoustic guitar or violin.
The team channel these good vibrations back into the cabin using sound passages.
We use these to send low-pitch sound to the driver's feet and higher frequency sounds through at ear level.
The driver is in the middle of this dynamic surround sound system.
What this car is, then, is an engineer's wet dream. It's a brilliant creation, and praise the Lord that it exists, but price-wise, it's on a different planet.
The LFA costs £340,000.
That's 130,000 more than a Ferrari 599. For a car that's no faster than a 599.
And you know what? Even at that price, Lexus won't make any money on each one they sell.
And there's another slight issue.
It just doesn't... It's a Lexus. It just is.